Hey guys, what's going on? Today I've got the next part of my CD collection. Background, listening to some embryectomy. So yeah. Alright, so last time we left off on cattle decapitation. So next we have a pretty different band. This is the Circle Jerks with Wonderful. If you don't know the Circle Jerks, classic American hardcore punk band. I don't have any of their first three albums, which those are way better. This one's still pretty good, but I remember getting this back in like probably 8th grade. Pretty good album. Everybody knows Rock House from GTA 5, but there's some other really good songs on here, like the title track, Making the Bombs, Killing for Jesus, Karma Stew. Yeah, just catchy. I think their best album is their first one, Group Sex. I need to get that one actually. That one's really good, but this one's still pretty solid. So Circle Jerks, Wonderful. This next one is another release from them. I don't really care about it that much though. It's just a live album. It's called a Gig. I think this is like a reunion live album from like the 90s because they were together in the 80s, and I think they broke up for a little bit and then got back together and made this. I always like the disc on this one. I don't really listen to this that much, or even I probably haven't listened to this in years because I don't really care that much about live albums, and I'd rather just listen to the original versions. But there's all the good songs on here, like World Up My Ass, I Just Want Some Skank, Beverly Hills, Wild in the Streets, In Your Eyes, Coup d'etat. But yeah, it's neat, but not the coolest thing ever, but what can you do? Circle Jerks, Gig. This next one I've only listened to like once. It was a freebie I got from a Discogs seller along with something that I had ordered. This is Corpus Christi with The Torment Continues. It's just some really traditional meat and potatoes sort of black metal. If you're into like Dark Throne, you know, you should know what this sounds like. It's not bad, it's pretty good, but not something I really ever feel like listening to. But yeah, Corpus Christi with The Torment Continues. The next two are from... Actually, I've got quite a few really good things next up. I got the first two albums from Cenotaph, Turkey. Love both of these. The debut, Voluptuously Minced. This one's really good. It's not as good as they would get, but it's still got a little bit of like an OSDM-y sort of tinge to it. I really like this one a lot, though. This is an original press, actually, put out through Hammer Music. Really like the artwork. There's the back with the band. Now, fucking all the teeth, except for like 2, are missing from the jewel case, so that kind of sucks. But, yeah, if you don't know Cenotaph from Turkey, of course, because there's the one from Mexico as well that's more OSDM, but amazing, technical, brutal death metal, little progressive. If you're into like Defeated Sanity, you like these guys, although they aren't quite as fast as Defeated Sanity, but they're still really weird and off-kilter. I like them a lot. Fuck, this one cut back in. Anyways, yeah, Cenotaph, Voluptuously Minced. And then I have easily their best album, Future Genital Purulency. This is the reissue. I actually ordered an original press before I got this, and it never showed up in the mail, and I just got it refunded. But this is a reissue. I mean, there's not much different about it. It's basically identical, except the colors are a little darker. Yeah, weird album cover. No track listing on the back. There's like really weird long song titles on this one. But yeah, this album is fantastic. The vocals are terrifying sounding, really raw production, really technical, kind of jazzy at times, really like great musicianship, really unique. I can't think of any other brutal death metal that sounds quite like this album. Pretty long songs too. They're all around like 5 or so minutes long. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I'm trying to find, because the track listing is really weird. The first one, Mutilate Genitalia and Lack of Resurrection, I guess it's misspelled, Under Effective Punch. That one's really good. And I think probably my favorite song on here is, where is it? It's so weird. No, wait. Oh, Verbalized Opinions about I can't read it. Verbalized Opinions about Intravaginal Umbilical Corded Fetus in Uterus. That's a really good song. Yeah, this album is really technical, really strange, kind of scary sounding, very raw. Sort of that, imagine like a mixture of like Disgorge and like Defeated Sanity with like Demolick, and then that's basically what this is. Really cool, really unique stuff. So Cenotaph with Puked General Purulence. I need to get more stuff from them. Their album after this, Pseudo Verminal, I think it's like Cadaverium or something like that. That album's really good. And all their stuff is pretty good that I've heard. Next up, we got one of my favorites. Easy top 10 brutal death metal / slam album. Cephalotrypsy with uterovaginal insertion of extirpated anomalies. You cannot go wrong with this shit. This is like, besides like obviously like Devourment, this is like my go-to straight up slam album. So fun to listen to. I mean, Angel Ochoa's vocals are amazing, and this album really revolutionized the genre in my opinion. Because you had bands before this that were already like brutal death metal with a ton of slams, but I think Cephalotrypsy was the first to really make it just pure slam. And then after this came out, you had like this and like Waking the Cadaver. After the like these two bands, you had, you know, Cerebral Incubation, Cranium, Gorevent, all those bands. But anyway, whoa, I forgot the Obi strip. I have it. That came with this. It like fucking fell apart. So I'll just keep that in here. Anyways, I really like this cover art. It's aged pretty badly because it's like that, you know, that CG art. But yeah, if you're not a fan of slam, you'll fucking hate this album, because this album is almost all slams, but they somehow managed to have pretty good songwriting nonetheless, though. There's a lot of peaks and valleys to the song. It's not just all money riffs. My favorite on here is probably the first song, Excavation of Incestation. Shit just goes so hard. There's so many great vocal patterns that are really catchy. Another really good one is Sanguinary Misogynistic Execration. That one's also got a lot of just really cool drum fills and stuff like that. Love the production on this. Crazy good guitar tone, just super meaty sounding. Perfect slam drum sound. Vocals are just like phenomenal. Yeah, you can't go wrong with this. If you like slam, you probably love this album. So Cephalotrypsy with uterovaginal insertion of extirpated anomalies. They're only full length too. I really wish they would fucking release their next album, but I guess we'll get it at some point. Next up, we got an album I got. It's a Blind By, and great band. I need to get more stuff from them, but I got this from a Blind By years ago before I knew who they were. Cerebral Effusion with Idolatry of the Unethical. This is their second newest album. Their album from this year was really good as well, but this was put out their new Standard Elite. Really good, fast blast oriented, technical brutal death metal from Spain. Just really cool shit. You know, if you like Disgorge and Gorgasm, Putridity, that sort of style, you'll really like this. Can't really go wrong with this sort of style, honestly. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say. All the songs on here are pretty long. I think there's only like 7 songs on here. But really solid album, though. Definitely a great piece of modern brutal death metal. I think it came out in like 2014. I need to get their album before this, Impulsive Psychopathic Acts. That one's really good. But yeah, Cerebral Effusion with Idolatry of the Unethical. Ugh. Next up, we got another Cerebral band. It's another one of my favorite slam albums. Cerebral Incubation with Gonorrhea Nodule Mastication. This is a reissue of this album that came out last year. And yeah, you can't go wrong with this shit as well. If you like Cephalotrypsy, which I just showed, then you'll like this, because it's really similar to that. There's a lot more samples on here. I mean, there's literally a track on here dedicated to just a sample called A Gentleman's Intermission. But yeah, the song titles on here are fucking so funny. You've got like Bubbling Rectal Cum Fart, Alcoholic Encephalopathy. I don't think anything tops Bubbling Rectal Cum Fart. That shit's so fucking stupid. But yeah, just really fun to listen to. Super chuggy, great guitar tone, great vocals, really nasty sounding. Doesn't take itself too seriously, but if you want some just really heavy, actually like ugly sounding slam, you will still really like this. Though they're not like just a joke band or anything, but there's a lot of funny samples. I like how they got the little hammers on the disc. I think that's kind of funny. But yeah, some great slam. Cerebral Incubation, Gonorrhea Nodule Mastication. Next up, really good piece of brutal death metal, Incinerary with Rituals of Desecration. This band was formed out of the ashes of this other band, Incestuous, I believe, which I need to get their EP, Brass Knuckle Abortion. But anyways, this has members from Incestuous, and it also has Maddie Way on vocals. And I want to say it has Ricky Myers on drums as well. Yeah, it does. So yeah, if you like early Disgorge and Incestuous, you'll like this. I think this might be an original press. This is the only thing they ever put out. It's just an EP, but it's really fucking good. The song on here, Recapitated, has some crazy pinch harmonics. It's not as fast as Disgorge, but it's still pretty blasty and technical, but it's got a lot of chugs and stuff too. It's got all the lyrics in here, kind of anti-religious sort of stuff, if I remember correctly. But yeah, good shit. Incinerary with Rituals of Desecration. Kind of a classic, honestly. Next up, another brutal death metal album, and a really good one. I was actually just listening to this today. Condemned with Desecrate the Vile. More Angel Ochoa, fucking great vocals. I think this came out the same year as Cephalosy as well. But if you don't know Condemned and you know Cephalosy, this is Angel Ochoa and the drummer. This was their other band. It came out around the same time. It's faster, it's more technical. Kind of comparable to early Disgorge, I suppose, like Chile Gutted era. It's really chuggy as well. This is just a digipack reissue put out through Lacerated Enemy. There's no booklet or anything, which is kind of a shame. I'd rather have an original press, but what can you do? I remember getting this for pretty cheap, and it sounds great. My one gripe with this album, though, is there's like a random, like, after the last song on the album before the bonus tracks, there's like a 10-minute ambient outro. I don't know why. Like, it's just like a wind sound effect for like 10 minutes straight. It's stupid. But the one song on here that goes really hard is Chapter of Defilement. It's got guest vocals from, I can't remember his name, like Sam Townsley or Sam Townsend. I know he was only in like one other band, and he did vocals on the third Condemned album. But it also has Sean Whitaker on guest vocals too. So hearing all three of those vocalists on the same track is just so sick. Another one of my favorites on here is Habitual Depravity, and of course Fixation on Suffering. But yeah, this is a fantastic album, and I need to get the other two Condemned albums because those are really good too. But yeah, Condemned, Desecrate the Vile. Fantastic brutal death metal. Next up, we got a really different band from Condemned. This is the Cramps, Bad Music for Bad People. If you don't know the Cramps, classic Psychobilly. It's just a compilation. Kind of a classic compilation, though. It's probably their most popular release, even though it's not really a full length. But, you know, iconic, kind of cool album title. And really love this artwork as well. Just really catchy, fun sort of songs. I remember I got this in like middle school. I haven't listened to this in ages, but Garbage Man, New Kind of Kick. She Said is kind of a funny one. Human Fly, TV Set might be my favorite one on here. But yeah, really catchy, fun sort of songs. Really goofy, really raunchy. But yeah, Cramps, Bad Music for Bad People. Definitely lives up to the name. Alright, next up, we got 2 CDs. I think this is every release that's been put out by this band. Cranegorgement, cool guys, good band. This is their debut EP or demo, I want to say. I don't know, but really good stuff. Put out through Gorehouse Productions. Pretty similar to like early Dying Fetus, honestly. Same groovy sort of brutal death metal style mixed in with fast technical bits. And then I have their full length Horrific Existence. It came out in like 2017, also Gorehouse Productions. But yeah, this one's really good. There's one song here that has guest vocals from John Gallagher, actually. I think it's Molded by Cruelty. I haven't listened to this one in a little while, actually. But yeah, really good stuff. My favorite song here is probably I Am God. I remember seeing them live, and that song was like so good. But yeah, Cranegorgement, Horrific Existence. If you don't like modern brutal death metal because of how over the top it is, and you prefer the more old school, like late 90s style brutal death metal, you'll probably like this quite a bit, actually. But yeah, Cranegorgement, Horrific Existence. Next up, we have one of my favorite albums of all time, and an album that really was an important stepping stone for my like musical journey. Cryptopsy with None So Vile. If you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, you'll know that there was a point in time where I was obsessed with this album. Like sophomore year of high school, when I was like 15, I got this CD and I would not shut up about it. I remember learning how to play every song on this album on guitar. This album kind of helped me get into more brutal sort of death metal. I mean, I have the fucking flag. There's not much I can say, really. But this is just a shitty digipack. Honestly, I'd rather have a jewel case, but this copy is pretty sentimental to me. So, but yeah, man, Graves of the Fathers, Benedictine Convulsions. Every song on here is perfect, but those two in particular, the breakdown in Graves of the Fathers still goes insanely hard to this day. I never get tired of this. Well, okay, I've gotten burnt out on this album because I used to listen to this like every day, sometimes multiple times a day, but I kind of have to listen to this one once in a while now because I've listened to this album so many times it's like engraved into my brain. But yeah, one of the best, if not the best death metal album of all time. It's not necessarily my favorite death metal album of all time. It's one of my favorites, but there was a point where it was my single favorite, and I do believe that in terms of objectivity, this is probably the best. Like, you can't get much better than this, man. Yeah, and I saw them live too around like 2019, and they were so fucking good. But yeah, animalistic, technical, over the top, ahead of its time. I guess you could call it proto-brutal death metal. People call them tech death. I don't really see it because the drums and the bass are the only things that are technical really on here, and even then, like, Defeated Sanity is even more technical, and they're still brutal death metal. And I'd say this leans more towards being more brutal than technical. It doesn't sound like Atheist or something like that. But yeah, Cryptopsy, None So Vile. Love this album to death. Next up, we got some Danzig stuff. I have the first 3 albums on vinyl, but these 2 releases I just have on CD. We got the Thrall / Demon Sweat Live EP. Love Danzig and Sam Hain and the Misfits. This is a really good EP. It's also got the remaster of Mother, which sounds better than the original, honestly. And then just a bunch of live songs. And then a couple of original songs as well, which is the Thrall half of the EP. This is a pretty classic release, actually. I like the artwork a lot as well. Pretty good. Not the first thing I go to when I want to hear some Danzig, but that would usually be Danzig 2. That's my favorite from him, but this one's really good. So yeah, Thrall / Demon Sweat Live. And then I have the last really good thing that he ever put out, and even then this album isn't the best, but it's still pretty good. Danzig IV. There's not even like a subtitle after that, like how Danzig 2 is Lucifuge and 3 is How the Gods Kill. This one's just Danzig IV. The first half of this album is really good. Like the first 4 songs, that's not even the first half, but the rest of this album is a little fillery. Like the last 2 songs, Stalker Song and Let It Be Captured, are really good, but I don't know, man. But Going Down to Die, it's a great song. I also like Can't Speak a lot. Not his best. His voice was starting to deteriorate a little, and then he made that awful industrial album after this one. There's even little tinges of industrial on here, but it's done tastefully at least. It doesn't sound like bootleg 9 Inch Nails or anything. Yeah, not the best Danzig album. I know a lot of people really, really like this one for some reason. It's still pretty damn good, but it's one of his weaker albums. But yeah, Danzig IV. Solid at the very least. Next up, we got another extreme metal CD I got pretty early on in high school. Dark Throne, Blaze Northern Sky. I have all the other Dark Throne stuff on vinyl, but for some reason I have this one on CD and vinyl. I think it's because the vinyl copy I have is a picture disc. But yeah, classic black metal. My favorite Dark Throne album is definitely Panzerfaust. I love that one. That's probably my favorite black metal album. Which I know that's really basic, but I'm not huge into black metal these days. But I used to listen to this one a lot, early 10th grade. Catharian Life Code, In the Shadow of the Horns, Where Cold Winds Blow. Great album. Dark Throne, Blaze Northern Sky. Alright, these last 3 are all from the same band. The next video is of the CD collection I do is gonna be stacked because I've got all the brutal death metal bands that start with D, which that's the best fucking music in existence. But these last 3 are from a classic punk band, Dead Kennedys. We got the debut, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. Can't go wrong with this shit. Everybody knows Holiday in Cambodia. Everybody knows California Uber Alice. But there's other great songs on here too, like Kill the Poor, Forward to Death, Chemical Warfare, Ill in the Head, I Kill Children. Classic punk album though. Great stuff. And next we have my favorite from them, Plastic Surgery Disasters. Yeah, this is the first thing I ever heard from them in 7th grade. You got Terminal Preppy, Government Flu, Trust Your Mechanic, Moon Over Marin. Yeah, this is a really fucking great album. One of the things I always really liked about the Dead Kennedys was they had really like great musicianship, which isn't something that you often get in a lot of punk bands. But these guys knew what they were doing. I really like a lot of the lyricism on. I guess like I would say early, but they only have like 4 albums. But also I like all the artwork, really big booklet. But yeah, like you really can't go wrong with this. I know some people don't like Dead Kennedys because of Jello's vocals, and they definitely they're an acquired taste, but I like them a lot. I kind of have to be in the mood to listen to something like this, but it's still like great though. I don't know. Dead Kennedys, Plastic Surgery Disasters. It also has the In God We Trust Incorporated EP, which is also pretty good. Then I don't have the 3rd album, Frankenchrist, but I do have their last full-length, Bedtime for Democracy. It's okay. I don't listen to this one very much, or I haven't listened to this one in a long time, but it's pretty good from what I remember. But whenever I want to hear the Dead Kennedys, I usually just go for one of the first 2, which I just showed. I remember there's some pretty fast songs on here, like Dear Abby or Rambozo the Clown. It's a weird song title. The disc for this one's kind of funny. But yeah, this one's not the best, but it's pretty good from what I remember. I remember the booklet folds up into 1. I always thought this album cover was kind of lame, to be honest, compared to the other 2. Yeah, it's still a solid album, though. I haven't listened to this one in a really long time. But yeah, Dead Kennedys, Bedtime for Democracy. Anyways, I think that's about it for this video, though. I'm going over 20 minutes, and I don't want to make like a fucking 40-minute long video of me just showing jewel cases. But I hope you guys enjoyed, though. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.